Hi guys, today is all about when and how to play the winning safety shots. All of today's scenarios are picked up from a Facebook group called Proving Grounds. I'll leave a link in the description. Coming in at number 6 is a post from Ray Hinton. I think that this situation might actually look a little bit more complicated than it actually is. The 7 and the 8 is not wired and they're not touching. So in the back of my mind, I've already started to think about 3 fouls. But first, you gotta play a good safety on the first shot. So here it's a matter of finding the tangent line and controlling your speed. So now you're leaving your opponent with a kick, and it's always difficult to kick when you're this close to the rail. And perhaps, there is some other good stuff that can happen as well. He might thin off the right side and scratch into the side pocket, or he might thin off the left side and actually open up the cluster for you. But in this scenario, he actually missed and you got ball in hand. So I'm placing it right there because I want to go behind the 7-8 cluster and play the 3 ball into the rail and back out again. So in the back of my mind, I'm leaving the 3 ball in a position where I can actually continue my safety game and look for those 3 fouls. So again, you get ball in hand. This time you want to stick him behind the 7-8 cluster and leave the 3 ball up towards the corner pocket. You don't want the 3 ball to sit on a rail. You want it just outside the rail, and the reason why you want it close to the corner pocket is that even though he hits it, he can actually scratch. Alright, so moving on to number 5. This interesting situation was posted by Calvin Post. Obviously the 8 ball makes the side pocket huge, but if you take a look at the area where you're gonna have to leave your cue ball, and if you bank it without touching the 8 ball, you're pretty much stuck in a really bad situation. So for me, I much rather just separate the balls and leave this really tough situation up to my opponent to figure out. Most likely you're gonna get another visit to the table, and that time perhaps you can hide behind the 9 ball. So number 4, and guys, at the end of the video I'll also post my own challenge for you guys to figure out. This one is posted by Jude, and well, it was his opponent who had this situation. Obviously you got the 6-9 cluster, but I also think that the 7 ball plays a part. The reason why I think that the 7 ball is such an important ball here is because you can always, make the 5-8 combination and try to break out the 6 ball, but the 7 is blocking that corner pocket. So what I want to do is I want to bring the cue ball down towards the rail and just thin the 6 ball and hide behind the 9 ball. Looking back at this shot, I wish I played it much harder with a little bit of right spin to bring it up table. That would have been way better. And as you can see here, I left my opponent a relatively easy resave opportunity. So moving on to the final 3. To me, this shot here is like an all-in. Either you make it and you're good, or you miss and you lose the game. So you want to play this shot without any spin. You want to hit really high up on the rail, perhaps around the 2nd diamond, and you got to be careful with your speed as well. So what you're perhaps looking for here is a stalemate, meaning that the referee, meaning you and your opponent, see that there is no progress and you just re-rack and start the game all over. Okay, so the final 2, and after this there's going to be a challenge for you guys. The reason I have this at 2nd place is because you have to play several difficult shots. Some suggested that you should cheat the pocket and use some high left and try to go down towards the 4 ball for position on the 9 ball. I think that you might end up way too straight on the 9 ball and you're in a lot of trouble. To me, the key ball here is the 10 ball. Actually, I misread the picture from the original poster, so I put up a ghost 10 ball. But as you can see, it wouldn't make any difference. And even though you had the cue ball come out slightly more from the rail, you'll still be fine. This is a perfect position to play down towards the 9 ball. So make sure you leave yourself a little angle for the 9 ball. So now you're gonna play with a little right spin and perhaps just center ball. Obviously make sure you don't scratch and try to come into the funnel, leaving you as straight in as possible shot on the 11 ball. As you can see here, I just played this with a little drag. We're all different, but for me this was by far the most difficult scenario. So for me, the best scenario here would be to try to make the 9 ball, well, you have to make the 9 ball, and leave him as straight in as possible with a little low right draw. Unfortunately, there isn't very easy save for him to return, and yeah, you're pretty much stuck in this situation here. But hey, there's always the Hail Mary. And you know, I'm gonna try to make it 3 rails, and there's a few good things that can happen. You can miss it and come in off the 10, or you can miss it really bad and go into the short rail and block the 10. But yeah, you're pretty much stuck anyway, so you better just make it. Alright, so that was my top 6 difficult situations. So here's one for you. What will you do in this situation? You're playing 9 ball and your opponent has just played a really great safety on you. And guys, please don't forget to subscribe.